right, people. I hope you guys can hear me. I just had some technical difficulties behind the scenes, but it is what it is. What's going on, my people? I hope everybody is doing great. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat right now. A huge shout out to everybody listening to me right now. And by the way, it's a 10-minute timer, so I can have people come in. You a hole. Anyways, shout out to Danny. But yeah. Shout out to everybody coming in. I giving you guys a live stream podcast update uh episode today. You know what I mean? Couple of things that I want to talk about and discuss. You know what I mean? A couple of there's a lot of things that I want to talk about and discuss. You know what I'm saying? But a couple of updates. The documentary is it's still being filmed. It's coming along great. Again, I am the only thing that I'm missing right now is these professors and higher echelon type of people who will find the time to actually sit down and interview me, because every time my time ain't really good for their time and their time ain't really good for mine. So we pretty much we're trying to figure it out. So just well, I'll keep y'all guys up to date. So just go to my socials and I can definitely keep you guys up to date on the movie. And if you guys want to go to the movie website, officialopenwoundsmovie.com is the link to go. So definitely go up in there and you guys will see part 1 and everything else that's gonna be in part 2, 3, and 4. You know what I'm saying? Other things that I want to discuss right now. As you guys know, that every summer I come up with a merch drop, but a lot of things has been going on, so I'm pretty much gonna leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want a merch drop? Do you guys want to cop some of the things that was already there last summer and this summer? Some new designs. Up to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Definitely up to you guys. Just let me know. I'll probably put some like little post thing up in there. Let me know. So the link is pinned up right now because I'm going to go into different topics, right? And I'm gonna go into different topics, and I want people's opinions, and then I'm gonna just move on from that topic to so on. You know how my podcast pretty much goes, right? But the main topic pretty much is all Latinos are Aboriginal natives, pretty much, right? So I want you guys' opinions on everything. This is going to be an open forum discussion. But one of the first topics that I want to discuss, if you guys don't know, is Dixon. Marcel Dixon lost the Senate seat in South Carolina, and that's one of the things that I want to discuss because I put this up on Twitter. First of all, before the people, for those who don't know, Marcel Dixon was is a Democrat going in to the Senate seat, and he was pretty much talking a bunch of basically FBA talking points, talking about immigrants shouldn't be doing this, immigrants shouldn't be doing that, blah 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 blah. Wait, the title is a ridiculous title. It's completely false. Okay, cool. Okay, Blood Moon, that's great. You're entitled to your opinion. I was like, but anyway, so he pretty much was going a bunch of FBA talking points, and homie basically lost. He lost to the main person up in there, and the thing is, he not only lost, and people probably would think he went to second place. No, he literally went all the way down to third place. And mind you, the one that was on second place was a unknown person that nobody knew nothing about, which is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. So I put this up on Twitter, and also I put this up on my Instagram, and I said all that anti-immigrant talk got him only 4%. Damn, he might as well do Southern Hat Reviews videos with that type of backing. And that's pretty much it. The thing is that you're gonna go to South Carolina in the 6th district, right, and talk all this anti-immigrant talk. Latinos this, Latinos that, Africans this, Africans that, and all this other stuff. And where did that get you? That got you only 4%. First of all, he lost against somebody nobody even knew about. Michael Addison? Who the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew who this person was. So the fact that homie literally came in 4% shows that all this rhetoric talk is all online. It doesn't really have real world backing. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't have real world backing. Now, that's my opinion, and I want to hear people's opinion. So I'm gonna bring in Jose and Zachariah. What's going on, guys? What's up?
Oh,
Good
oh, oh.
good evening, Radical, and everybody on the chat.
Hey, what's going on, Jose? What's up?
Oh,
And
I'm cool.
what's up, Zachariah?
How you doing, Radical?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Let me just go with Jose first. Jose, what do you think about Marcel Dixon losing the Senate seat, and also the reason why I believe he lost was because of his anti-immigrant talk. What do you think about that?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I haven't followed the story too much, but I think it just says for itself. I mean, because you can talk rhetoric, but you gotta have something substantial. And if all you can do is just talk about anti-rhetoric stuff, I mean, that's a recipe, for losing. So that's all I got to say on that.
Okay, cool. What about you, Zach?
I'm looking at this guy. So he's Democrat saying this stuff. I'm shocked about that.
Well, yeah, that's I'm shocked too because all his talking points he should have went Republican. So
He was
it's
against.
it's funny. It's just really funny. And somebody, Rack, who's obsessed with us. Yeah, okay. Go
So,
ahead. Go ahead.
so he lost to. He was a teacher. I'm looking at this on Ballotpedia right now on my computer, and he graduated from University 2009. Oh, he young, so he didn't have no funding. That's not why he lost.
No, he gained $200,000.
200. That's not enough. Come on.
I'm just saying he gained $200,000,
So
and he was actually pretty. His campaign was pretty much online, and he had like nationwide. Uh, you know, uh, how can I say this? Appeal. He had nationwide appeal.
see,
To a person, but he still lost to a person that was pretty much unknown. You know what I'm saying?
so I even know I'm in Texas. So he lost. He was third place. So
Yeah.
the okay, I know why he lost. I'm gonna be a critical thinker.
Okay.
He went on Democrat Party saying this stuff. Now, if he went to Republican Party,
It would have been a different story. Yeah, you're right.
exactly.
You're right.
And South Carolina, the southern states are mostly Republican, like here in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be Democrat with all the white folks. I mean, I'm not trying to bash other people because all of us got white blood in us, but no, the white Republican and some of them are Klan people. No, and I see that he's a brother. He's a ADOS.
Yeah.
He got his dreads. He not all that conservative looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at by standards how to dress. You don't normally see somebody with dreads running for office, especially if they're gonna be Republican. So I'm looking at all that. He very young, and he said he had some donations, but it wasn't enough to get him votes. Usually people win due to funding. Like, of course, people go to polls, but if they don't go to polls, the money talks. And
Yeah.
lobbyists.
Do you? I know that his slogan was "Build America by building back Black America," right? Which is a cool slogan. I dig it. But the thing is, I feel like this is how I feel and how I saw it. I feel like he actually slanted away from that rhetoric and started going into something like, again, anti-immigrant, anti-Latino, everything is Africans' fault and all this other stuff. So it pretty much like negated the whole message about, okay, you guys are gonna get, he's fighting for reparations,
Right.
but yet the main thing that he just talked about was anti-immigrant this and anti-immigrant that. So it was really weird because again, immigrants are not stopping people from getting reparations. So that's what I'm saying.
And it's not like a big population. There are population Latinos there in the Carolinas and the South, but not a huge population of Latino
So
immigrants.
I did some research. Apparently the 6th district that he was running for, um, that district pretty much has no immigrants
Right.
whatsoever. Literally no immigrants whatsoever. And the thing is majority, you know,
White.
no, actually no, it's majority black. The thing is
Mm-hmm.
that is majority, ADOS. So the thing
African
is,
descendant. Right.
I don't understand how someone with the type of rhetoric that he was bringing up loses to Clyburn. You know what I'm saying? So,
It was
it's pretty weird.
a Hispanic panic. That's what it was. Okay, I know why. I know why. Because when we were Katrina,
Yeah,
okay, and not to go along with it, some of us Creoles are part Hispanic, some of them not besides French. They was bringing a lot of Latino immigrants. Even my cousin's homegirl's husband who's Mexican. She's part white, part Mexican. They went over there. She went over there. He went over there to work over there in Katrina. I was in El Paso. So remember Nagin, the lighter skin tone Creole brother, got in trouble for fraud. The mayor was saying
yeah, that was like a long time ago. Yeah.
no, but that's the same rhetoric because if you meet people from the South, there's not too many Hispanics. They'll start passing out. Oh, the Latinos are coming in here, and in a lot of those low paying positions are offered to African American people or some white folks who happen to be lower income, like free trailer park. But usually it's white folks with money will have a lot of higher jobs, right? So they put this fear complex in African American people where it's not too many Latinos there. You know what I'm saying? To say, oh, you're going to stop Denise. I see her talking. Um, you're not. They're going to take away
Yeah.
out your jobs, and a lot of those African people who don't have an education or they've been discriminated against, and they don't know how to. They don't have a financial mind game. They don't have a wealth
Yeah.
mindset, so they rely on low paying positions. And white man brought me down. I don't go by that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
narrative
Yeah. Yeah.
anymore. Right. So if you hear, oh, these white folks gonna hire these Hispanics, Latino people, oh my God. And that's what Diamond Silk is from the Carolinas. Remember when Trump
Yeah.
came over there, we're gonna be that wall. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
there's don't get wrong, my homegirls, it's like one of the Mexican girls, she used to go to North Carolina a lot back in the 90s, and it was growing. But it's not that big Latino population in North Carolina and South Carolina. So why is this a subject? Like I said, Texas, Florida, California, maybe New York, but not in those little Carolinas. White people with Klansmen got more control there. So
Yeah.
so that's why. And yeah,
Mm.
that's why that he was trying to spin that narrative like this boogeyman. Oh, these Latino immigrants come across the border,
Yeah.
and you African people are going to lose your jobs to these Hispanic people. You better go vote Republican. But see, if he was Republican, then
It
he would
would
got
have
a
been, yeah,
vote.
a different story.
Right.
A different story.
This
Yeah.
crazy brother.
Yeah. Jose, what do you got to say about this?
Well, I mean, I find it very odd that a Democrat will be used talking Republican talking points. I mean, that's like it's like kosher ham. It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to agree. I have to agree. If he was a Republican, he would have done better. I mean, this is. I mean, he might as well be a Republican with those
Yeah.
talking points. I mean, and of course, everyone wants to blame immigrants for everything that's called this country. I mean, the fact of the matter is, immigrants built this country, along with the African American community. So,
Yeah. Also, I want, because I'm gonna move on to the next topic, and I really want you guys' opinion. on this, but I really want Denise's opinion. So that's why I was asking Denise to.
Yes, I would love for her. I would love for her to pop on the panel as well.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like you got her phone number, bro. Like go.
Okay. Well, I got her phone number. Hold on.
So before anything happens, let me just paint the picture. So apparently in Texas, something historic happened. Up in the Texas district, a certain district in Texas, close to the border, that was majority Democrat turned Republican, and it got big news coverage, and it turned Republican due to a Latina who won the vote. So I want to play something real quick.
This is significant. Here's the results here. Again, we're talking about South Texas going down to the Rio Grande Valley. Now, this is a congressional district that's actually lines for this district are all going to change at the end of the year. So what she was elected to was a term that will only run for a few months. She's going to run in a different district this November. But this speaks to a story we've been talking about since the 2020 election, specifically along the border, the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas. County after county, whether it's in this district or some of the districts to the west of it, where voters have moved 10, 20, 30, 40 points away from the Democrats and toward the Republicans. This district that Mayra Flores won last night, Barack Obama got more than 60% of the vote here when he last ran in 2012. Hillary Clinton won this district by 22 points. It's shifted that dramatically. Joe Biden carried it by 4 in 2020, and now in a special election, a Republican candidate has won it outright. We've seen shifts like this throughout South Texas. This, by the way, is the second most heavily Hispanic congressional district in the United States. We've talked about the potential shift among Hispanic voters. We certainly saw it in 2020. The question has been, would we see it in 2022? I think this result we got from Texas 34 last night definitely underscores the Hispanic vote could be up for grabs this fall in ways we haven't seen in a long time.
Okay, so you guys heard that. You guys heard that, and I got a couple of opinions on that right now. One, it's surprising because especially a Latina who took that over. That's surprising because a lot of people were expecting her not to actually win anything. But this is what she said, and I'm gonna find the quote later on. She said, as Latinos, we have to stop with the Democratic pandering to us when they do not know us. And she said that verbatim in her winning campaign speech. When it came down to it, this is what she said. And she said that right now, the Republican Party isn't with that whole BS, isn't with that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So why is everybody putting in one? What was it?
They want me off. They trying to. Your girl is trying to start some drama, and I'm trying to be peaceful. And they trying to get me off.
I don't know why they want.
Because
they want you off.
So your girl's caught.
It is what it is. Just ignore it. So let me.
I'm gonna ignore it like Kristen Phillips did. Okay.
So my thing is that this is what she said. She said that the Democrats don't really bring nothing to Latinos whatsoever. Republicans are pretty much speaking for us, and they don't even pander to us, which is rightfully so. So I gotta find the speech that she said that in so I could play it. But pretty much, what do you guys think about that? I'm gonna start off with Jose.
Well, I'm speechless. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the fact of the matter is, those are us who voted for Biden, and I'm gonna be one of the, and I'm gonna make a public confession. I did. I mean, when you take a look at everything that the Democrats have promised and failed to provide, I mean, and then we hitting all this noise, people are tired. I mean, so of course, they go to search for an alternative. So the fact that we had a Latina who was a Republican, he was able to bring across a message, and the message is enough is enough. Now, I'm not saying the Republicans are any better either, but you know, you can't make false promises and not fulfill, and then assume we're going to be like sheep and just follow the leader no matter what.
Do you agree with what Danny says? Because I agree with what he says a lot. He says Dems offer everything to the world and deliver nothing to Latinos. I agree with that. What is your thoughts on that?
So I agree with it 100%.
Well, Democrat.
I believe I found a clip, and I wanna share it with everybody in the room right now. All right. Here it goes.
Well, Democrats, they have left their mark, and not in a good way, but Americans clearly are paying attention. What we saw in Virginia with Glenn Youngkin in education, what almost happened in New Jersey, nobody was paying attention in the governor's race there. That race could have turned red. Believe it or not, New Jersey. And here we have Mayra Flores, 150 years. Finally, it changes hands to Republican. It's got to be replicated in every state, every district in the country. Now, Republicans are publicly targeting 75 congressional seats held by Democrats. I expect that number to grow. Now, if I were leading the Republican effort for the midterms, I would try to put every race in every state in play. Yeah, I'd even put the New York governor's race in play. Anyway, here now with more from her big win last night, Congresswoman-elect Mayra Flores. Congresswoman, first of all, congratulations. Everything was perfect in your video. We got to work on that soccer kick a little bit. I didn't know soccer kick needed a little help.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Your family and your life story is beyond compelling. A district that was Democratic for 150 years. Now, you were on the ground. Obviously, illegal immigration had been a big issue where you live. Tell us what changed, what happened?
Well, you know, I was blessed to come here to the United States legally when I was 6 years old, and I want that experience for all children. I don't want any child to have to go through such dangerous journey. So I'll never understand why the Democrat Party continues to encourage with their policies illegal immigration, knowing what they're going to go through. And I want to focus on legal immigration and improve the process where they don't have to go through that journey. And look, we don't have to hear it in TV about the border crisis. It's happening here right behind our backyard. So it's very real to us. Child trafficking is very real to us. And children are innocent no matter where they're from, and they should be our priority.
So your parents came here legally, like my 4 grandparents came from Ireland legally, and they came through Ellis Island. We see something happening. We always do polling in election years, and we break things down demographically. What we've been witnessing is a dramatic shift among Hispanic American voters, African American voters, the youth vote in particular. Women voters are out there. They're all leaving the Democratic Party, at least on paper for now. We've seen a few political earthquakes. I would argue your race is a huge potential bellwether for what may happen in November. Why do you think that people in demographics that historically have been in the Democratic Party or the Democratic Party coalition, why are they now leaning towards the Republicans and conservatives?
Well, I feel like the Democrat Party has walked away from the Hispanic community. They've gone so far left, and they don't represent our values. People always ask me, Mayra, how can you be a Republican whenever you were born in Mexico? And that clearly shows me that they know nothing about our culture. I was raised with strong conservative values. We're all about faith and family and hard work. That's who we are. So our values do really align with the Republican Party. But I do feel that, you know, for a long time prior to 2020, no one was really paying attention to the Hispanic community. And I'm grateful that finally the Republican Party is investing in the Hispanic community because we are the future. But the Democrat Party has completely abandoned us and taken us for granted. They feel entitled to our vote, and they feel they don't really have to work for it. And what we're showing now is that, yes, you do have to work to earn our vote. And that's why we won this special election, because we worked hard. We knocked thousands of doors, made thousands of phone calls. I have the most hardworking team. And that is the reason why we're also going to win that re-election in November, because no one is going to outdo the work that we're doing.
Well, and by the way, Elon Musk voted for you. I'm kind of fascinated with Elon Musk. I think he's a great modern day innovator, and a really, he's a real true original to me. What'd you think of that?
I was honestly so excited when I heard about it, and I'm so grateful that he came here to South Texas and invested.
All right, so that's enough right there. So real quickly, what she said, I completely agree. One, Latinos are becoming the majority, and two, this is something I've said, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is something that I've said a long time ago, a couple of months ago on Twitter. I put this up. I said, I don't know if all y'all Hispanics will go red, but I have seen talks even in the black community saying that the Dems are no good. So we might see Latinos and black people vote Republican. And the reason why I say this is because this reporter right here went out to a all Hispanic neighborhood and pretty much was talking about all the things that the Democratic Party was going to do and is doing, and pretty much they were like, "What the hell? This is pointless. Why are we going? Why is the Democratic Party taking tax money from me in order to educate, LGBT people about their pronouns? That's stupid." You know what I'm saying? So things like that. They were asking these people, and they were like, "Yo, this is dumb. Why would you want to do that?" So that's the reason why I even tweeted what I tweeted. Oh, I think I got Denise in the back. What's going on, Denise? So this is the reason why I tweeted what I tweeted. So I want to know what you guys think first before anybody goes. I know Jose. I cut Jose off. I want Jose to go first, and then everybody else will go. So far, you heard what she said. The Democratic Party walked away from Latinos. So Jose, what do you got to say about that?
You know what? I have to agree 100%. I mean, look, when you have to participate in a 4-part training exercise regarding transgender people. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone has the right to live their life what they see fit. It's just the whole thing when I have to be worrying about he, her, they, us, them, whatever. It's like it's a little confusing. Now, if you want to do that as an adult, that's perfectly fine. But when you're talking about bringing that information to a 6-year-old, whatever happened to reading, writing, and arithmetic, and just accepting, just dealing with people who they are and not worrying about all these 2 million pronouns? Hello, Denise.
Hey, Jose, bendición. How are you?
Que Dios te bendiga. I am so happy to see you today.
Why am I? Why am I hearing sarcasm?
I know, but I think I know why. But that's a topic for another stream.
Okay, all right.
Can I say something? I'm from Texas.
Secondly, Zachariah, go with your points, and then Denise. Thank you, Denise, for coming in because I really wanted your opinion on this.
No problem.
Yeah. So Zachariah, go ahead.
As a African American, French, Spanish, Creole, English, Irish, and descent, and I did vote for Trump when I was homeless. One of the Democrat dudes, fake brother, put me out in the street that I vote for him. But my ticket was not 100% Republican because I'm still a liberal. And we all know Joe Biden's racism, and Kamala, when she put African American men and Hispanic men in jail and a lot of her dirt. I'm not voting for someone that's dirty. Now, you're right. That's the reason why a lot of Hispanic people are going to Republicans, not just the Democrats not doing anything. Some African American and Hispanic people, so I can speak on both ends since I am Hispanic from Louisiana roots, they don't vote. like a lot of African people, Hispanic people in Houston, only time they like vote for Barack Obama presidential votes. When it comes to local votes, they don't vote. And one thing, even though that I voted for Trump, I'm not a true Trump supporter. I just didn't like certain Democrats in my city not doing a job. Those who of African American descent and Hispanic who didn't care. We have a mayor, no offense. He just happened as homeless people. He's darker than me, and he didn't care up until COVID. And that's till when Trump lost, and I posted and I got my apartment later on. But I'm not gonna go full Republican. Some Latinos do not vote. I live in a mixture of Latino and African and other immigrant community. And when I go to voting polls, they're not there in these for school, for HISD, and then they want to get Lena Hidalgo, and she's helping us. She's a Colombian Harris County judge. You have Latinos who do have a coconut mentality who's attacking Lena. She's Democrat. They're trying to get this part white, part Mexican woman to go against Lena for Harris County because they blaming her for the crime. No, we have lazy, evil, racist, both like even though those are colored, African and Hispanic, all of us are nations, not just the white ones who do not care about people of color getting railroad crime and shooting, and then they're letting the folks out of prison. I mean, out of jail for bail bonds who are heinous. That's because there's corruption. They're trying to get back at what happened here. So the reason I'm bringing this up, y'all, it's not just, Democrats not doing anything. The LGBT community is extreme. They have a lot of support in the Democrat Party. But African and Hispanic people in my region do not take political office. They don't know the laws. I'm not saying all of them, but I noticed it's trend of African and Hispanic people not knowing the laws, not knowing their rights. The only time it's for presidential, they're not voting for certain judges. They're voting for the wrong judge. And then when they get, Democrat Party not helping us, but then I'm not going for Republican because you have Republicans who don't want you here. They can go back into the Eisenhower WICK operation thing and kick you out of here if you're illegal. They're doing that right now. Even Biden's president, okay? But you know what I'm saying? So I'm not, you got to be very careful going full Republican because if you do, we can sadly get back Jim Crow and all the other stuff, and God forbid we go back to that. I'm glad that we're changing that. We start to learn, but it's not just Democrats not doing things.
I feel what you're saying, and I agree. Like, don't go change what we've been doing so far because it hasn't been working, but don't go full out because that's still gonna probably hurt us in the long. I get what you're saying. I agree with that. Denise, give us your delightful wisdom, Puerto Rican wisdom.
I think people are not gonna like some people might like what I have to say, right? But I'm gonna disagree.
Screw you.
I'm gonna disagree with you, and I'm gonna explain you why. Hold on. And I'm gonna disagree with what Zachariah said. Segregation never affected Latinos the way it affected Black people. There's overwhelming evidence that we live in the white section of America. There's proof of that's out there. Go and do your own research. I can show you proof, but that's the truth. We didn't live in the Black section of America during segregation. So of course we don't know what that feels. So segregation and Jim Crow did not affect Latinos like it affected Black folk, which is why we even have a problem explaining to some Latinos what segregation was to African Americans. Now, with regards of the Republican and Democrat situation, look, I supported Donald Trump in 2016. I think I've said this many times. I supported him in 2020. I don't care if people call me a Trumper, a Trumpet, whatever the hell. I'm going to explain. You have to understand, Latinos vote for whoever puts money in our pocket. That's how it happens in our countries, and it will happen in America as well.
I know that.
Can you let me speak?
I was agreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah, but just, I think I can do without the commentary.
He's your ad-lib.
So,
Go ahead.
So with that being said, I don't think if problems arise with us supporting Republicans, I don't think that we will stay within the Republican Party because like I said, Latinos, we tend to go where we get paid. We always have done that. We will do that forever. So people tend to use, when we're arguing this situation with Republicans and Democrats, we have to analyze the truth and stop lying to ourselves. If we're going to say, oh, Republicans are building a wall, let's keep it real. Half that border is built. If you go to Mexico, there is a wall between Mexico and neighboring countries. Every country has a wall. The Dominican Republic is building a wall against Haiti. That's normal in any country. It's standard. Now, whose wars? And that is the issue, which is why most people are going to vote for Republicans. Democrats are so bad and suck so much at their job that Republicans are looking like a savior. And that is the reason why Latinos that are more awakened to this stuff, and every American, because it's even happening with African Americans right now.
Yeah,
we are voting for these people because Democrats are really that bad.
Yeah,
and we don't have a third option.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have a third option right now.
Yes,
look at the stuff that it's going on.
Well,
Even here,
the independent party could be a third option, right?
That's what I was trying to say.
But how much promotion and how much visitation to our homes independent parties.
True. No, that
For
is
example,
true.
I'm a big supporter of the People's Party. I started supporting that party in 2020. You can research it. And in reality, they let us down. All of their supporters, we support them with our money. We support them with spreading the word. We support them with their social media, everything possible. And we're talking the people of the likes of Jimmy Dore, Tim Black, even Nina Turner. All these people joined this. Even people in the military, former military people, joined this party to promote it. We had the convention online, and where are they right now? Well, they let us down. And don't make no mistake. I vote for independent people on different aspects, especially now in state elections. But in all honesty,
what's going on?
Damn.
Okay.
When it comes down to what matters, I'd rather go for people that are building a wall than the people that build the cages so that we can be in concentration camps. And let's not forget, those are Democrat people.
That is true. That is true. I want to
than any other president.
Okay. Denise, I want.
Can I say something after her?
Wait, real quick. I want Danny to go. And Denise, I got a little bone to pick with you on one thing you just said, but it's all right.
I have a bone too.
Go ahead. Say what you got to say, bro.
What was like the main question? Because I was like in the chat. That's why.
What do you think about Latinos going Republican and all that, and you know what the Texas winner said about that the Democratic Party walked away from the Latinos?
Well, I mean, the reason why she won is because, number one, it's a border town, right? The construction started, it didn't finish. Biden took the $40 million that was supposed to be for the wall to complete it, and I forget which area. He sent it to Ukraine. People are tired of the nonsense, right? If you look at some of the people that were caught crossing the border, a couple of them were they were convicted rapists that were deported back to whatever country, and they came back across the border. So people are starting to see this. They're starting to wake up, and another reason why a lot of the Latinos are going towards the Republican Party. I mean, listen, they claim to be about God also, right? That's like one of their talking points. And a lot of people from Latin America, they're religious. Like, let's just keep it a buck. That's part of what it is also. So that's like an alluring part towards that party. When you have the liberals, you can't talk about God in school, but you can teach somebody's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old about gender fluidity, sexuality, and all of this stuff. But if a kid is praying in school, he or she could get suspended, right? You can't say the Pledge of Allegiance in school, you can't pledge allegiance to the flag, which
But you
that's
could do it
was
to
never
a
my thing.
LGBT flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people are starting to see this, and I don't think it's so much just the Latinos. It's everybody is starting to see this now. Not everybody is going to go towards one party, but when you mess with kids, that's where people start drawing the line, and you're seeing the line is being drawn.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I showed that. I don't know if you saw the tweet that I showed a couple of minutes ago, but like I said, I've seen this in plenty of Latino talking spaces, even personally, where a group of black folks are just talking amongst themselves and they're talking about these type of things, talking about, yo, I'm about to vote Republican.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I'm seeing the big resurgence of the Republican Party getting a lot of backing from blacks and Latinos. You feel me? Because of the BS that's happening right now.
Exactly. And what come November, they're gonna clean house. They're gonna take over half of those seats. Biden's gonna get impeached, and once he's done and he's out, either impeachment or the 25th. Once he's done and he's out, they're gonna, naturally Kamala takes over. She's done also because she hasn't done a damn thing. She hasn't been doing her job since she came into office. She's responsible for the border. She hasn't shown up to the border since. I think the most that they did was show up, sadly, to the school in Texas.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing that they've done. That's as close as they've been to the border.
No. Actually, she had a photo op. She had a photo op next to one of the walls, but that's about it. She really didn't really.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing. And I mean, listen, the Democratic Party it's on its last leg. Like once the midterms are done, it's a wrap for them. They're not going to hold office probably for another 50 or 60 years. Like they're not going to hold major office like that. They're going to have to do a lot to get any type of power back. And
do you
and
think
as far
that
as
some
Trump
of the
being arrested, Trump is. I'm going to tell you guys right now, he's not gonna be indicted for one thing whatsoever. Mark my words.
Yeah, let me ask you, Danny.
Not can I insert something?
Wait,
real
quick. Real quick. Let me ask you something, Danny, because I think you're a little bit more in tune with that the other side a little bit more than I am. But let me ask you, do you think, and this is just your opinion, do you think that if the Republican Party does get a lot of power, the resurgence of that is going to trickle down to most states?
The only way that happens, the only way I see it happening, is if people actually do their homework on who they're going to vote for in these primaries, right?
It happened in Jersey. It happened in Texas.
Because in Jersey, what was it? The truck driver. He was a truck driver, and all he spent was a couple $100 on his campaign, and he brought everybody donuts and coffee, and they were willing to work with him. If you get people like that in, then you're going to start seeing more power coming back to the states. Now you have to really do the research. If people just vote for establishment candidates because they're on TV and on whatever social media platforms, that's where things are going to mess up. There's nothing wrong with the Republicans getting all of that power. It depends on who's in power. Because if you're getting regular people that are tired of the nonsense and start running, like, again, that truck driver, like, what's her name, Mayra Flores, the one you were talking about earlier, then you'll start to see real things being done. Because it's like I said before, everybody talks about third-party candidates. That's not going to be the way to go in this country because they don't poll high enough to even get on a debate stage for the world, or let alone the country, to hear what they have to say, which I think is bogus, but it is what it is, right? So the way that you hijack a party is you infiltrate it. And that's what people are doing right now. They're infiltrating the Republican Party. Like right now, you can go online and you can get a list of the 10 rhinos who voted against the Second Amendment. Come November, they're done. Mitt Romney's done. Mitch McConnell done. All of these career politicians, a lot of them, they're done. I'm telling you, man.
Damn. Okay. So I know Denise had something to say, but real quickly, I have to disagree with the fact that you said the Latinos wasn't segregated. On historically, part of it that is true, but other part of it it's not, because if we weren't segregated, how come the Mendez versus Westminster thing happened? To desegregate school Mexicans from the school.
Yeah, I didn't say we got best treatment, but I said we didn't live in the black sector. There's
Yeah.
no proof of that. We live in the white parts of America. There is overwhelming proof of that. Even
Yeah,
on the
but we
school
still
and
got but we still got segregated in certain parts, right?
not necessarily. We got treated differently. We got treated like second class white people, but we weren't treated like black people.
Mm. Well,
There's overwhelming proof of
so
that,
okay,
right?
so again, with the schools, they were
Look at the
complete.
schools.
They were
Look at the
no.
schools.
Wait. Let's just talk about the schools for a second. There's schools that actually separated Latinos from from the white parts. So how is that not segregation?
That is not segregation because we still enjoy the same neighborhoods and privileges of white people. We didn't use the color sector of America. We used the white sector of America.
So
If you gave African Americans the use, like right now, that's still integration. You just get the shit treatment in integration. We had the life African Americans have right now.
got it.
But we never was segregated to like, oh, you can't be in this part of the United States, or you can't use this type of stuff. We still had access. So segregation did not delay us even
Gotcha.
financially or
What
in any
about-
other way.
Okay, what about certain stores that said no Mexicans, dog, Negroes, whatever allowed?
We were still allowed to live among these people, because even when you look at the how Puerto Ricans came to New York, we still were allowed in those spaces. Now, will they rent to us? No, because we were still treated as second-class white people. We weren't completely white, but we were too dark for them. But we weren't like by law required to not be in certain spaces. You get my point? We weren't renting things.
It's hard for me.
Like,
It's hard for me to see that when I know historically we were getting lynched right alongside black folks.
We were getting lynched, but what I'm saying is you have to understand we were treated back then like black people are treated today. They still get killed
Just
because they're black
tolerated? We were
people.
tolerated?
Exactly. They're
Got it.
second-class
Okay.
citizens,
I-
but they're fully
I see.
integrated.
Okay, I see your point. I see your point now. I do see your point, but saying that we didn't, I see what you're saying, but I think you could have worded it a little bit better. I don't know. In just my opinion, because I felt some type of way.
But
I
that's
felt some type
those
of
are
way.
the arguments. Those are the arguments that usually certain people use in order to try to push us to vote for the imperialistic MFers and elites and oligarchs of the Democratic Party. And I'm not saying that Republicans are not the same. Make no mistake, I'm a moderate person. I'm neither a right winger or a lefty. I'm more moderate. I'm in the center. However, when you have to consider, if we have this concept that people adopt of lesser of two evils, you have to start thinking about your family, because at some point, you can be like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Pedro Albizu Campos, Filiberto Ojeda Rio. But however, who's going to look out for your family? And let's keep it real. 4 years ago, we had President Trump on record telling the NATO countries America is funding 4% of the protection against Russia, which is why NATO was created. And this is just an example. Okay. NATO was created, for the people that don't know this, NATO was created to protect European countries and certain American sectors against the Soviet Union. So in reality, we were supposed to all put equal parts of money to defend these countries in case of a threat from the Soviet Union. So we're still defending these European and American countries against Russia. But then you have places like France and Germany and even the US depending and sending money to the coffers of Russia. Donald Trump even called out Germany 4 years ago. And he said, how come we're putting 4% of our GDP? You're richer than us. You're only putting 1%. Every other country in NATO is putting 1% of their GDP. We're paying 4%. So we're putting more money into defending you against a country that you're purchasing 70% of your oil from. So you're putting billions and billions of dollars into the country we're supposed to defend you against. That's inappropriate. There's record of that.
I I got a certain request here. Art, shout out to Art, said Radical Latino, I need her contact. So I don't know if you want me to send your IG to my boy over here. Maybe
Sure.
he'll give you an interview and stuff. So Art, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. So continue, Denise, because I know you got something for Daniel, and I know Zach got something for you, I think, or something.
Yeah. It's so crazy because now 4 years later, we're seeing that the maniac dude. Many people told me because I openly said in 2016 I'm supporting the Shito because he made sense. Not because I'm a Republican, not because I'm a bootlicker, not because it's because I wanted more money in my pocket.
Mm.
And he said,
Somebody says her point is absolutely incorrect. In the southern parts of the U.S., there were some areas blacks couldn't live in and Mexicans couldn't either. So that illusion of America is she living in? What
yeah,
do you got to say to that?
but this is the thing. There's no proof that's tangible about those things. That's word of mouth. There is actual proof and receipts that even Mexican kids, precisely, you can say that about Puerto Ricans, you can say that about Dominicans, you can say that about Afro Latinos, but you cannot say that about Mexican people. Mexican people in particular had an overwhelming registration in public schools among whites. I have proof of that. I can provide the receipts. Can they provide the receipts that it was the contrary? Absolutely not, because it's not true. That's just word of mouth.
I don't
disagree.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You
All I'm
can
saying,
disagree, but the point is that there is no proof that we.
I found
I wanna say it.
I feel like today Latinos have exclusive mistreatment in America. Yes. Do we get did we got segregated socially?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
But
you did.
legally we did not got segregated. And I think it's almost inappropriate to
I'm
piggyback
not saying that we
from
did
the
at that.
suffering of
I'm not
African
saying that we did apples to apples. I'm not saying that. But I think the way you're saying it makes it seem like all the other things that happened didn't happen. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So what I'm saying is there is proof that we did get segregated in certain parts, not everywhere, in
Yes.
certain parts. There is proof of that. But saying that there is no proof whatsoever, it makes it seem like you're kind of negating everything else. I think Babe Rodriguez said, "Read bad Mexican Kelly letter Henderson." I think that's the girl that was talking about with the school thing. But so Denise, go ahead. I think you got something for
let's just go back to what we know, and I'm gonna ask this to people because this is the problem with folks. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram, all the proof that I can provide. This is my thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna debunk it.
How Latinos were considered before the civil rights movement. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. Perez versus Sharp is one of those proofs.
Yeah.
Now, Perez, exactly, on paper and legally, we were not segregated. Now, I'm not saying we were treated as white people. I just said we weren't legally affected like black folks. So it's somewhat inappropriate for us to say, oh, we're going to get segregated like we're going back to Jim Crow. We did not suffer through Jim Crow.
I know. I know that. Not everyone.
Can I interject?
No, it was only Afro Latinos. At best, Afro Latinos suffer, not us. We socially we had to deal with it.
Can I say something, Brad?
Real quick, Denise, if they would have saw you, they would have probably told you to go in the back. Come on,
absolutely. But I'm Afro Latina. In my case, I will be right there next to MK in the color sector.
Exactly.
It's not the same thing. The majority of Latinos that were here before that weren't even Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
Let's keep it real.
But I understand what you're saying also, because there will be certain parts where they'll let you drink out of the white water fountain. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also,
but it's true. We were allowed to do those
I know.
things.
I'm not denying that. I understand that. But the way you're making it seem is like we completely went through that period like untouched.
No. I'm not saying because this is the problem. I'm not saying, because the problem is that it gets a little I get a little irritated when I see people that are non-Latino trying to use our Latinidad and the stuff that we went through and compare it to African Americans. We had issues that are similar today because African Americans were integrated to a community that we were already integrated in and treated like crap. They're getting the Latino treatment right now, but they had a worse treatment than we did. And it's a little bit inappropriate that we try to use Latinos and say, oh, we're going back to Jim Crow. No, if anyone is going back to Jim Crow, it's the people that actually suffered through Jim Crow. We didn't suffer through Jim Crow. We didn't know what it was to be colored in America.
I see your point. So
yeah, that's exclusive to African American suffering.
Okay, you missed a whole lot of points. First of all, you forgot the gasoline baths. Yes, you were treated less than human. Even though you're not Mexican, they had gasoline baths. So during Jim Crow, you had to take a gasoline bath to go across that doggone border. You forgot Mendez versus Westminster. You know, it's a Mesoamerican family, right, in California. Sylvia Mendez's mother was Puerto Rican. Her dad was Mexican. That's why you was able to go to white schools before Brown versus education. Then you had the Matanza. A lot of Mexicans were lynched, okay? And even though they try to classify you as white, if you got caught in a Mexican town, you got killed sometimes. They don't talk about that story. And then too, if you do integrate into a white neighborhood, you better not speak that Spanish or eat Mexican food. You had to similar to white. How many Latinos that I met before I found I was part Hispanic on the answer.com, so people don't consider me, I don't care about their ignorance. A Mexican American woman said, you speak Spanish than I do. I said, she was born in the 60s. She said, when I was growing up back in Jim Crow, we cannot speak no Spanish. We was not until you got your ass whooped if you did speak Spanish. Also to let me also interact that that generation, there was baby boomers that was Hispanic. They could not listen to their music. That's why Selena's dad was trying to pump her head to speak Spanish and sing Tejano music, because they discriminated him during Jim Crow. He probably, if he did, the only person you can name Richie Valens. Oh, Donna's singing about a white woman who's Mexican with a big Afro-Mexican nose. And yes, it did affect Latinos because y'all hide your black background and you didn't want nobody to know because you be classified as black if the white Southern folks that we related to, because African Americans are not pure black, found out that you had some black ancestor, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Mexico as well, you will be put on the color section. So that's why you got away with the Jim Crow in a way. But you know, you didn't get away too much because you had to take a gasoline bath. You had to also get lynched. You also had to fight so hard to go to a white school before Brown versus education. You forgot back in 1954. President Eisenhower had the Operation WICK. Trump said he support that. So it will affect Latinos because it wasn't too many Latinos in this country from Latin America. The only Spanish, you had Mexicans that had a land stolen, and us Creoles who were told to identify as black and deny our French and Spaniard native roots with a one-drop rule that I'm totally against. So yeah, you had your great-great-grandma and grandpa Abuelita and Abuelita that was African and act like you was not, even had no African blood and try to emulate white people's behavior, our cousins. And it's funny that some of y'all don't like the fact we hook up because, like Kim 133 say, we are related. Though even though they don't accept us genetically, we are part
Denise,
and I see the jealousy right there.
Respond to that?
Yeah, all I can respond to this, it's very simple. There's his thought, his opinion, and there is facts. Like, you know this, Radical. Again, Hispanic and black are not the same thing. Second of all, every Hispanic person until very recent was classified as a white person on paper.
Yeah, you're right.
Illegally on paper, we were classified as white people.
We were. But we didn't get white people's benefits.
No, I'm not saying we got benefits. Where did we live? If there was a fence among white and colored, did we live in colored communities?
Majority, no.
Exactly. So that is my point. The majority of Latinos during Jim Crow era were Mexican people. Mexican people, for the most part, are white-looking, white-passing people. Why? Because America said so. It doesn't matter if you look like Indian. It doesn't matter. No.
Wait, let me
it doesn't matter if you
look.
No,
Let me pause you. Wait. Let me pause you on this real quick, just
Please
really
do.
quickly.
You
So
didn't do
does
that to
this mean?
Zacharias.
Wait.
I'm from Texas.
Wait. Hold on. Does this mean?
Go
Does this?
and get you some white friends.
All right. So does
No,
this
but-
mean, Denise? Does this mean that the Anglo Hispanics were the ones passing for white and pretty much lumping us all into the whole Latino thing? We're passing as white, when in reality it was the Anglos.
No.
Yes, my portion
Listen,
of the Hispanics are responsible
I
for
knew
that
it.
radical.
This is the problem.
Okay.
And most
This is
Mexicans
the
don't look white.
Wait. Let her speak.
This is the problem that we have. We need to understand, to us Latinos, actual Latinos, we know who we are. We know we're a mixed people. We are mixed with indigenous, with African, whatever.
Yeah.
To the American Empire, we were white folk. So what you feel and what you think and what you might see is not necessarily what the law said back then. So there's no evidence whatsoever we lived among colored neighborhoods. That happened after segregation.
You know why?
That did not happen. Excuse me. I didn't interrupt you. Please
I'm sorry.
have the decency to not do the same to me.
Okay, go ahead.
Again, my issue here is not that we are not a mixed type of people. Yes, we are a mix, but we were considered legally white. Segregation and that argument to use it against us to pressure us to not vote Republican is retarded because we were never taking the Turkish ass when Jim Crow was enforced. We had the turkey's wing. Make no mistake, white people had the breast. But we did not have
I see your point.
Axelina's dad, because he was listed as white, and you're mine, wherever the song in the song. And what that white man said, these are Mexicans. Why? I thought these are Italians. So you didn't get accepted. And as a part Hispanic, their roots are from Louisiana. You forgot your history that Spain controlled Louisiana and mixed up black folk, and I'm descendant of that. It was also part of Nueva España, if you want to go there, who's an actual Hispanic. Excuse me. First of all, it did affect you because you didn't have rights. Our white Anglo-Saxon cousins did not care about you. They just used you as a puppet. But you had say Chavez. That's the reason why you have the Hispanic categorization, because some of y'all thought you was white, but until you got a wake-up call and found out you was not. You had to fight to go to white school before we call it brown versus education, and you was lynched. You had to take a gasoline bath.
Okay, Zach, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Zach,
excuse me.
Real quick. Wait, real quick. Denise, truth teacher put, I don't know, he probably put
He's
something.
speaking facts.
Truth teacher says East Harlem became El Barrio because Puerto Ricans couldn't live in white areas. And when they were in Long Island, they got signs in their lawns saying no N-words allowed. So
there was signs all over establishments in New York City that said no shirt, no shoes, no dogs, no Puerto Ricans, no service. Like,
no,
I mean, listen, everybody got it coming to this country.
But this is my thing, and this is what people don't understand. I'm not saying we have not experienced discrimination. What I'm saying, and this is the problem.
I understand where you're coming from. We didn't have the same level as the African Americans you're talking about.
We didn't have any legal repercussions.
Yes, you did. You had to fight for it.
Zacharias, shut up, please.
No, don't tell me shut up.
Let's relax.
Just shut up, because I did not interrupt you. I asked you nicely. You want to be disrespectful and act like a child, then I'm going to treat you like a child.
Then I went too, because I saw you comments on.
Then stop over talking people.
Right,
thank you.
Let's chill.
Sorry.
So again, we did not have that treatment. We had a different type of discrimination. I'm not saying Latinos have not had to work their way through this country. Of course we did. It wasn't until 2016 that Puerto Rican community was acknowledged in the Department of Education of New York. Come on. And we were there for almost 100 and something years at that point. So of course, yes, there was discrimination. There was treatment. We were treated like crap. Now, there's no legal documentation that tells you, or backing that tells you that we live among colored people. And one of those things that is actual proof of that is Perez versus Sharp in 1947. A Mexican lady wanted to marry an African American man. She was a white woman according to the law, even though she looked India to me. But
Of course.
then to the law, she was a white woman. She could not marry that man, and that was the precedent that Loving versus Virginia used to win the interracial marriage plea.
And California law allowed them to marry because they're both Catholic. And also, too, hold on, there was not a big population of Latinos. That was the whole reason why they squeezed you in as white, but it was treated like crap. And yes, it was documented. And just because it was law, so if the law, like y'all scared, okay, I'm gonna use the same argument. Okay, so I'm not for them teaching LGBT community stuff to kids because those kids should not know about that. Let's make that a law, okay? Hypothetically speaking, are you going to defend that too? Because not every law is ethical, baby. Also, too, not only that, when they did surrogate, they forced you. This is what they did here in Texas. Because I'm from Texas, even though I'm not Mexican, I'm Spanish Creole, so I know a lot about Hispanic roots in here in Texas. Even though I'm not Mexican, okay? All right. So, as African American Hispanic, Spanish Creole, here in Texas, if you were surrogated, they were trying to integrate the so-called black people who are not pure black into a white school. Real white people said, hell no, we're gonna put the Mexicans in that school, in them color schools. They forced. So therefore, and if you were white, you would have white privilege. Most Latino communities do not, unless you are from Cuba, unless you're the Cuban American community who got a lot of wealth. You don't live in nice neighborhoods.
Hold on, let me say something real quick that I'm connecting something before I let Terrell go.
All right,
Zach, why does it seem like when you say that you're Spanish creating all this other stuff, why does it seem like you're trying to like dig at someone? Because I'm hearing like you're using that as a reason, like.
Because there have been subliminal messages from Denise. I saw the chat room, and she was trying. I know she was trying to instigate because
I would like to address that, please.
No. You'll address it on your own time. You're not here.
Thank you.
Not here. I really could care less. All I wanted to know is what was going on. It's a beef. I could care less about that. Y'all do that on your own time. Anyway, like I said, Terrell, go ahead.
Hey, well, how is everybody?
Everybody's good. What's your opinion?
Well, I want to say is everything that Denise mostly say is correct because back during the day, Hispanics was classified as white, but they wasn't treated as white. And
I agree with her, bro.
and Hispanics mostly live in separate communities, but they were classified as white just to beef up the white numbers because back during the day, they didn't have the consensus for Hispanics. They didn't have brown or Latino. They just had them as white just to beef up the numbers, but they didn't get the same treatment. They got very bad treatment, and they did so. Like in the military, they did stuff alongside the white soldiers, but they wasn't really given much command positions and everything. And sometimes a lot of white people didn't want Hispanics being buried in white graveyards or being in some neighborhoods or going to some restaurants. And they
before I go into the next topic, because I know people wants me to go to the next topic.
Please go to the next topic.
Before I go to the next topic.
Yes, please.
Hey, Denise, do you got anything to say with what Terrell just said?
Come again?
Do you got anything to say about what Terrell just said?
I am so grateful that Terrell came up here because I was starting to think that I speak in a different language that's not English or Spanish. But he literally described what I said.
What an asshole. I hate you. Yeah, what an asshole.
Like, I'm so grateful for Terrell right now. Like,
what an asshole. Listen, I agree with you at a certain point because it just made it seem like you would say something else. That's all. That's all I was saying.
But look, all joking aside, Radical, me and you have been working in the past with the kerosene bats and all this stuff. And to add to that and piggyback from that talking point, right now in America, like the situation with Mexicans and Central Americans coming into this country, that is a topic that people love to also use. The kerosene bats. Let me tell you something. The concentration camps that are going on right now in America that never stopped, they did not went away with Jim Crow. That's another point. So Jim Crow and the kerosene bats and the PL 934, none of those things, none of the things that happen to immigrants from the Latin community or any other community, none of those things have anything to do with Jim Crow laws. If they had something to do with Jim Crow laws, why we have today children of Latin descent in cages, why we have concentration camps, why an African-American lady had to be the whistleblower for the assaults that were happening in these concentration camps that we have all over the US, where Latinos reside. If that was part of Jim Crow, then those things still would not be happening, which is proof that that was not Jim Crow being imposed on us. So the kerosene bats did happen, but that's not related to Jim Crow. That's just related to the racist nature of white people in America.
Okay.
Can I
So
interject?
I'm gonna wait. No, hold on. We're gonna go to the main topic, but before that, I want to see. There's 50 something of y'all. I want to see at least 25 likes. Like, come on now. Like, this is ridiculous.
There should be at least 50 likes.
Let's bring it up. No, if I shoot too high, it might not get this.
For all the stuff that I've done here and how I've had to deal with this stress, please hit that like button.
Please,
okay?
Yes,
Hit that like
please.
button. Exactly.
It's
Hit
not.
that
It's
like
not going to
button.
cost you anything to
Now-
hit the like button.
Now,
Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like
I
button.
want everybody to just mute up real quick because now I'm going to go to the main topic and why I even titled this thing what I titled this thing, right? Okay, so recently I got into a conversation with a certain, I'm going to say, first of all, I don't even know how this person even got my number, but my personal number, by the way, but I spoke to a Mexican OG pretty much like a week ago. And this individual, we had a 3-hour conversation. This guy was just trying to figure me out, trying to see why I do what I do, why I speak the way I speak. And pretty much he opened my eyes on certain things, you know, and a lot of things that he said that I even looked at was actually true. You know what I'm saying? Bring that like up to 25 likes at least. All right. So that Mexican OG pretty much broke everything down on certain things where I was like, damn, this dude is actually right. I did some more research, and something that I've already been saying from a long time from now, even till now, that us Latinos, we are descendants from the indigenous people of this land, of America, Latin America, the Caribbean, and all that. We are descendants. Everybody could say we were first. Listen, we can DNAly prove this. So the more I started to research and the more I started to see, the more I started to get a little bit more pride about my Latino-ness. You know, I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. We are amazing, amazing, amazing people. Some of us are a little, you know, out there, but we are amazing, amazing people. Some of the things that we even contributed and invented and did in the history till now says a lot. Now, this is not a jab at anybody who believes whatever little buffoonery they want to believe in, but I'm going to say that what I've seen and what I've heard, radical what? Yo, this guy's crazy. What I've seen and what I've heard in and for this past week from my research, what I'm seeing is that we are 1,000%, and I can actually like prove this because I don't even have time to even do it now. I'll probably make a video about it. 1,000% prove that we are descendants from the indigenous people of this land. Now, the reason is we are a new breed because obviously we already know what history and all that other stuff that came upon it, right? But we are the descendants. Now, I want to ask the panel. Obviously, this is nothing new, but what are your takes on it? There's a reason why I want to even say this, but I'm gonna get into that later. So, what is your take on this?
Well, to be perfectly honest, what you're talking about is a very interesting hypothesis. What I would like to do is I would like to, get some research information about it. I'm not saying what you're saying is correct. It's just that I would like to, study this information properly before I can say yay or nay.
Okay, I'll send you some. I'll send you some links, bro.
Thank
I'll
you.
send you some links. Denise, the most outspoken of us of them all.
I was letting other people
No,
talk.
no, fuck you. No, fuck you. You disagree with me. Me and you didn't see eye to eye. You go now. What are your thoughts?
Look, I
Wait.
think
I already know what she's gonna say. On paper, we were white, so we can't be in.
no,
Go ahead, go ahead.
but seriously, no. To us, like I said, on paper we were. Period. But to us, to Latinos, to ourselves, I think we all have somewhat a percentage, but we can't deny the fact that that is very low in most of Latin countries. And the reason for that, and I say most because I know there's still indigenous communities in places in Latin America. Now, aside from those communities that still remain till this day, we have to accept the fact, and I've said it in many other different podcasts and broadcasts that you have done, Radical. There is books regarding this. You can even read Open Veins of Latin America. It comes in Spanish and English, and you can read it. It's an amazing book. And it will show to you that out of the 75 million indigenous people living in the Americas, only 3 million remain. 72 million were extinct. That was the biggest genocide in human history. Now, with that being said, we were mixed with everything that came after that. So some of us are not even direct descendants of that. We're like the reminiscent or like what's left with the mixture of other things. So how someone like me can be as indigenous as Daniel Valencia? That's not true. I may have some trace in my blood, but in reality, he's an indigenous descent. I am not.
Can I push back on that?
Yeah.
So the fact that some
Okay, Radical.
yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know if I cut off. I said, did you ever do a DNA test?
No, I don't want to have
Okay.
my DNA test, my
Okay,
DNA on
I
any
get you. No,
database.
I get you.
Yeah,
No,
I don't gotta pay $50 to spit in the tube to know what I am.
Yeah.
That's just my
Right.
personal.
One of these Jewish companies. No,
And
That's right.
my-
That's right.
my thing is that just knowing that there's a lot of things that we do as Latinos that come from Native culture. There's a lot that we don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, some of our genetic markers do have a lot of Native, outlooks on how the appearance of us are, how our teeth come out, how everything comes out. So at least I think I'm gonna just say we have majority of what their genetic markers are as Native people. I'm just saying you don't think so?
I believe so.
What about
They're all Afro-mestizos.
yeah? What Denise? What about you?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I went up for a second.
Oh, no, I said some of our genetic markers are very pronounced in Latinos than anyone else who's saying they're indigenous or whatever the case is. It's more pronounced within us than anybody else because I was saying I'm assume the majority of Latinos have a high amount of indigenous DNA.
Absolutely, of course. And like I said before, there is even places in Latin America that, fortunately enough, they still have indigenous communities that are pure and preserved till this day. But like, for example, if you look at my grandmother looked very Taína because her mom was pure Taína and her father was a Spaniard. But then when you look at my mother has less, and then I have way less, and then my kids will definitely have none. You know, even MK has what is it, Cherokee blood in him, but does he look like a Cherokee? Of course freaking not. So to what degree can we really claim that? I don't think we should, because it's just something that is within us. I don't think we fit that bracket. You know, everyone's entitled to fit whatever bracket they feel like to, but I think that if you're not significantly indigenous, then you're not. But we're obviously, that's in that salsa that makes us Latino, of course.
Gotcha.
But with that amount of indigenous people left after the wars, let's face it, like indigenous people were free people and they fought for their freedom, but they died because of it. So it's very rare in places like Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, that you're going to see those things.
Can I say something?
I don't know how true that is. The DNA places are closing. I don't know how true that is, but if there is another Denise out there,
would you imagine the world?
The world will end. Zach, go ahead. Say what you got.
Okay, that would be an interesting argument. Her versus her clone. Her and her clone having a debate.
People don't know that DNA testing about race is not conclusive. It is only real when it comes to relatives. A biology professor at DePaul University, William Garland, put it on Twitter many times, had said that your DNA test could be different. Like what happened with Jessica Alba, she was not considered black on her first DNA test in 2009. Lopez Steinberg on what's that show, Find Your Roots, 2014, her Afro-Mexican DNA came out like 2%, and she was also other DNAs. Look, no one has a right to. We all, entitled to. In America, it's legal for us by law to identify how we want to identify now. The one-drop rule and blood quantities are no longer there. So I'm for Latinos to acknowledge all their heritage. Like I said about African American, the same people. Let's get rid of the one-drop rule. It's no longer law anymore. Let's get rid of the blood quantums. If you have in your blood, it is your right. No one has a right to harass, humiliate you about your heritage. So at the end of the day, we need to go ahead and acknowledge indigenous roots of people of African descent. Let's go ahead and admit it. Let's go back to Africa. We have 3 homelands, and Latinos from Latin America have 3 homelands. So I just wish that people, and also what it says, people are saying about the genocide, okay? And this person, the part of the multiracial movement, I know since 2003. I'm not Mexican, I'm not Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican, but in the Caribbean area, those Latinos did not all die. The women carried the babies with the black men and the white Spaniards. That's why there are Taino descendants in Cuba and Dominican Republic. The Spaniards didn't want you to know that because they were trying to colonize the area. That's why I told them.
Men wasn't getting any, is what you're saying? It was just the women.
The men, the white Spaniard men killed most. They attacked the men first, and then some of them did marry and did have some relationships, fornication, but there was also rapes. So in the beginning in the Caribbean, and then later on, it was a lot of marriages. So I forgot. I hate the fact that certain websites that actually prove that is not there on 2003 because it's not 2022. I remember being on Mi Gente and showing people that, and I had Dominicans and Puerto Ricans liking my posts. I used to be on. I was on Mi Gente. I was on Black Planet too. Asian Avenue. I forgot. Well, I didn't hardly go on Asian Avenue, but anyway. But that's true. A lot of people say that all Taínos were dead. No. A lot of them survived, but they survived through race mixing, and they were mixing with black and white men because the men got killed in those wars. The men fight each other, so the women usually, of course, they rape the women and sometimes kill the women. But they also had relationship with the women, and they had mestizo kids.
Wait, real quick. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who this is.
Who the hell is that?
Yo, always learning. What's up? Yo.
Hey, how you guys doing? That's not my avatar.
I know that's not your avatar. Who you?
I'm just new to the platform. It's just listening in, just also learning that I might give my own little tidbits as far as visiting other Latin American countries as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you would troll. My bad.
Oh, no problem, no big deal. I'm not gonna be playing those silly games like that.
Nah, your screen is all black, bro. If you could just like put your avatar on.
Yeah, I tried to. It seemed like I had issues with that.
Oh, okay. So anyway, what's up, bro? What you got any thoughts and ideas?
Yeah, I mean, going through different Latin American countries, I think we have to bring perspective on, I guess Native American identity and whatnot. Like if you go to places like Mexico, particularly because I've been, I live in California and I go to Mexico all the time. You do have large indigenous populations there. Especially as far as the dominant ethnic group that's coming to the United States these days, you do have high indigenous roots, and going to places like southern Mexico and Oaxaca, you still do have people who do speak the indigenous languages to this day.
Yeah.
Although it might be discouraged, by certain population, by the dominant mestizo population, but you did still do. I mean, countless times I talked to dropping me off to work, various Uber drivers. We just sometimes shoot the S, and as far as the monotony as far as being in the car, if it's quiet or whatnot. And I asked them, I said, where you guys from? They say, oh, I'm from Cancun. I said, oh, are you Mayan? They're like, oh, how you know? I said, oh yeah, I said, I've been there. I've been in that area. And I would say, do you speak Mayan? They said, yeah. But the problem sometimes with some of them have is when they come to the United States with their kids and they marry, let's say, people outside the community, let's say other Mexicans from other areas, they don't speak Mayan. And I had to encourage this one dude. I said, you know what, you need to take your kids back to your villages, in the Cancun area and have them learn. I'm like saying, if they don't learn those languages, they're going to become, as far as the generations, further down, they're going to become mixed up. And I'm not saying being mixed up in a Latinos, but they will lose that aspect of the identity of of a Mayan person, of a Mixtec person, of like people in Peru, Chechua and stuff like that. They still do in those areas. If you go to like Peru, if you go to Ecuador, if you go to the Bolivia, a lot of people still do speak the indigenous languages. Even a good example of that, which I like, is Paraguay. If you read about Paraguay, regardless of your racial background, everyone in that country still speak Spanish and also the other language, which everyone speaks regardless of your race, Guarani. Everyone throughout the whole entire country speak that. And I think that was a perfect example of a Latin American country that kind of embraced both cultures instead of one culture dominating another.
Okay. I know Bro Tup is in the building. What's going on, bro?
What up? What up?
What's up? What do you
shout out to the panel?
Yeah. Shout out to them. What do you got to say about this?
I think if we're talking about Native American, which ones are we talking about, right? Because the Native Americans like Central America, South America, I think they're different classification as the like Navajo and Chippewa, whatever. But I think the main thing to do is to kind of like move forward. A lot of those people, like Denise said, a lot of those people got wiped out. Yeah. And as the brother just suggested, part of the reasons why the wiping out is still occurring is because a lot of people are abandoning the original ways that they had, including the language. Which if you don't speak a language, it becomes a dead language, man. So like that brother just said, what would be wrong with, let's say, Mexico, right? What would be wrong with making the whatever the ancient tribe there, that language? Why not make that the official language along with Spanish, like dual kind of thing? Okay. Currently, I think it's just Spanish, right?
Yeah.
But you have a lot of minority groups, indigenous groups. They still do speak their indigenous languages. which is good. But you know, then the question is, which indigenous language would they choose? You know, and which might isolate other groups. You know, like saying, you know, that's not my language, that type of thing.
Yeah. Now, I wanna just real quick. One of the genetic markers that I found very interesting are shovel teeth. For those people who might not know, on top is what shovel teeth is, meaning a very small indentation within the tooth of the front teeth, making them a shovel. And at the bottom is non-shovel teeth. And the reason why this is important is because it's that shovel teeth are more common in characteristics of Asian and Native American populations, but rare in African and European population. Most common dental traits, genetic programming, all this other stuff. So pretty much that's what I was talking about and mean when I say about genetic markers and certain genetic traits that are common within Native Americans. So that's what I was trying to say. So that's my response to Denise. But you guys could go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of the genetic traits that are passed down and that are predominantly from that group. That could be a very big indicator of that surviving. But I disagreed with that being said, I disagreed with Zacharias when he said that Native Americans have survived by mixing with other groups. That's not survival. That's diluting whatever that bloodline is. You don't survive. Your genetics don't survive by like the Cro-Magnon, either the Cro-Magnon or one of those other humans. They interbred with us, and we have traces of them in us, but those groups aren't around. They didn't survive by mixing with us. That's not how that works.
They did survive because you are related to your ancestors. I don't care about public opinion, and it was proven by DePaul University the DNA test is not accurate when it comes to race and ethnicity. It's only accurate when it comes to relatives. So I think somebody needs to do their research before talking a lot of noise, and also to say this as well, that if you're descendant, I'm like Denise. Okay, it's funny y'all play that little game when I talk y'all interrupt, but when I accidentally interrupt y'all, you want to check them in that. So stop with the hypocrisy. As I was saying, that as Native American people,
I have not made a sound, so take my name out your mouth. Thank you.
Let me stop. You interrupted me too. As I was saying by Native American people, if you're descendant of whatever your heritage is, that's who you are. Maybe some people need to mind their business and stop trying to play this collective role. And maybe need to understand that if a person wants to notch their heritage where they look like the person or not, as long as they're related to them, it's none of your business. If you had a life, you wouldn't be worrying about what another person's doing. You'd be worrying about what you're doing on your own. So I think some people need to grow up and mind your business. At the end, if Latinos wants to claim their native roots, and along with the African and the indigenous all together, as long as they don't act like a bunch of racist people, then it should be a problem. It should not be a problem. But at the end of the day, that's not your business to worry about if a person is surviving the Native American heritage, because that is their bloodline. You have no right to tell that person who relates to that person not to claim them. Thank you.
Come on, man. What are we talking about? Come
on. Again, it's something between I don't want that has nothing to do with me. Go ahead.
No, but I'll be looking forward for you to send me, the information. So, so I have an opportunity to review this. I mean, I'm not saying what you're saying is not accurate.
Yeah, of course.
I would just like to review it, because I don't believe in making an opinion without an opportunity to actually examine the information itself.
Yeah.
But Zach,
okay.
If I can refute what you were saying just a little bit, you can feel how you feel. The facts are the facts. Like if somebody is, let's say somebody's not Native American, but they say, I feel like I'm Navajo. Are they then Navajo? Let's say they have like one ancestor way back in the gap, right? So they're probably like 1% Navajo. Do they then get to claim, I'm Navajo when they start wearing feathers and shit? Like, Zachariah, are you there?
Hey, yo, Zach. You're
No, you haven't. You're a lion, dog face, pony soldier.
Hey Zach, I think Zach, you're muted, bro. I don't know who muted you, but
I went to go get my eggs. I'm cooking eggs in the
All right.
kitchen. So I went to after I said what I said. I went and I put myself on mute and went to go get some eggs and cooking eggs in the kitchen. Okay. So what'd you ask me? I was going to the kitchen. I'm in my room. What's going on?
Bro, tap. You were asking something.
Someone can feel how they feel, right? But that doesn't change the facts, right? So somebody could say because they have 1% or 0.5% or 0 point something percent Native American, like Navajo or Chippewa or whatever, do they then have the right to say, yeah, I'm Navajo and Chippewa?
If that's their bloodline, that's their business, that's their right. Why do you care?
Well,
do you have a life?
We should all care about the facts, though.
No, the facts is that's their bloodline, and I just admitted to you that at DePaul University they have proven that DNA test is only real with relatives. It is intimate value when it comes to race and ethnicity. William Gollander, whatever his name, he's associate professor of DePaul University, and he exposed it on Fox 32 in Chicago back in 2017-18 recently, because a woman named Jennifer White, a sister, found out she was 97% Jewish, and she said, I'm a black girl, I'm not white Jewish. And then she went to another DNA company, I think it was owned by the CEO's YouTube sister. Yeah, she's on that company. And it was a little even that she was more African. So which is rich, because they admit that they stored DNA and they always not always right. And I think that if they do have 1%, that is not your business to worry about. I think that someone like you should worry about your heritage, and maybe you appreciate it if it wasn't for the Dominican and the Haitian and the Polish that are trying to front and act like the darkest skin version of Sarah Jane imitation light trying to please the white folks. You probably be happy what you are, but instead of being people's business and trying to dictate their identity, I'm not talking. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I think you need to worry about your life and others too, and stop being ashamed of your bloodline and stop fronting for white supremacy. Because I see why you want to become Republican is because you want to go back to Jim Crow, and God forbid we do that. Thank you, because I don't know. I'm glad that we're out in the civil rights movement. We have more freedom legally, and people need to learn to mind their business while someone enjoying that freedom. You're right. The kids should not be taught about those sexual stuff at school, but their heritage about identity, I think that's a personal decision, not your decision. So regardless if you disagree with that situation, mind your business. Please do. Thank you. Let me enjoy my eggs.
What the fuck?
I'm
lost.
I don't believe what I'm hearing, but it's okay.
I mean, everyone got their opinions and how the way they feel.
It is what it is. Bro, you good with that? You good with what he just said?
Next topic.
Well, Zach, happy Pride Month, by the way.
Join my eggs. Okay. Mind your business. Thank
you know the weird thing I find is pretty much weird when it comes down to this whole racial thing. It's weird. It's like in America, right? Everybody want to have that magical Cherokee blood, both black and white. I mean, you could find that. I mean, if they could get that 1 or 3%, they declare that Cherokee blood. Now, let's just flip the script in, let's say, Latin American countries where the indigenous population is very significant, like Mexico. I mean, according to statistics, about 25% of Mexicans are indigenous, whereas 60% is mestizos and 9% is European. Now, to be Native American over there is kind of looked down upon in some respects. That's why some people who are pretty much Native American genetically in Mexico switch on to become mestizo, because the Native American narratives in predominantly Native American, I would say, which should have a significant Native American population, to be Native is to speak the language and practice the culture, and it's not necessarily genetic. And it's weird, Holloway, the differences as far as nativeness is different in areas where countries where have significant Native American populations versus countries where the Native American population is pretty much treated like a a mascot in a way, or that exotic caricature in a way. Because, you know, in the States, let's face it, you know, in movies, they pretty much kind of made that Native American person as a mystical person, which is pretty much, you know, not right in a lot of respects. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
I have to say that because I know about that. I read about Native American roots, and African Americans shouldn't understand DNA test not always real, and they distort the DNA. And many of us do.
It's not only the African Americans; it's white people who do the same.
I know,
thing.
and they should the blood quantum. That's what caused the whole that. People don't realize. You asked the question about the mascot. You know that the white supremacists made the one drop rule. They made a blood quantum in this country. They didn't want too many white people mixing with the American people. So they told them, if you continue to mix with white people, you'll lose your benefits because they're white. So those biracially mixed part Native people saw at the time when white was right, they chose to be on the white side. But most of those kids, and I have friends who are part Native American white and look white, they have a right to claim. I mean, why would you want to deny who you are to please some racists? Okay, so I miss my friends. I'm alone right now. And so a lot of them are not the $5 Indian. They had Native American roots. It's just that their family decided to pass as white since they had the legal right at the time to do that. But on the census, at the time they would say the Native American population is less because they used the one drop rule on the black Native American people and the $5 Indian to us, and then to the white part Native people, they told them, okay, since if you continue marrying the white folks and keep diluting our race, we'll make sure you don't get no benefits being Native American. And them folks like, okay, back in Jim Crow or before Jim Crow, white is right. So why would I want to claim to be Native, live in a teepee, and I live in a suburb, and nice home? So that's the mentality they had. So now, since we in the 90s where I grew up, when you had the multiracial movement, it was like getting live.
Bro, you gotta line the plane, bro. You're long-winded right now.
Okay, I'm long-winded. He want to know why. The blood quantum mess caused a mascot. They wanted a genocide. The white folks in this country did. The one who's racist. So I think that it should do some research on paper genocide. That's what caused, because a lot of us are indigenous, but they want a paper genocide. Look that up on Google. What paper genocide with the Native American mixtures are.
Okay, I just want to present this question again. I mean, hopefully the panel will understand. Why is the difference, let's say, in populations where the Native American culture is very, very strong, like places like Mexico and Peru and Ecuador and Bolivia and Guatemala, what have you, where the locals pretty much look down native roots or pretty much sidetracked it, versus populations like the United States. I'm not saying that Native American are not significant, but it's not as prevalent like those countries. Why do you think?
The reason I believe, and this is just my opinion, the reason why I believe that's so is because I'm gonna chalk this up to white supremacy. The image of a native is not something that is pretty much looked up upon. You know, what is really looked up upon? What is the beauty standard of white Europeans? So that's my thought as to why it's very prevalent but is ignored, because later on they want to just side with whiteness. Now, in the first world country, you could literally identify as a refrigerator homosexual fox. You know, the thing is we have that right because we live in the first world country.
Shout out to refrigerator homosexual foxes.
Yeah, and you're gonna have all these individuals coming in with the right to identify whatever they want. So you are gonna have white folks or even black folks coming in saying that, yeah, I'm native this and I'm native that, because you know they don't have to worry about when food is gonna come to the on the plate the next day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my thought is. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion.
Okay, anybody else?
I can answer.
Go ahead. Excuse me.
Go ahead, Jose.
Okay. Well, I look at it this way. This country has a very poor history of dealing with people who are different than the elite. I mean, we can talk for hours regarding the why, and I really don't want to get into that. But as far as the indigenous people, let's keep it real. I mean, a lot of the indigenous people in this country has been killed off throughout the centuries. So so the situation as far as the indigenous peoples here in the United States, it's different compared to, say, Latin America and Central America and the Caribbean. And that's all I got to say about that.
I mean, what I'm saying is, and even in Latin American countries, the term Indio, especially, I'm talking about in Mexico in particular, is used as a what?
The negative.
It
as
is.
a negative than it is a positive thing. And then some people pretty much, let's say, if I was an indigenous person from Oaxaca or a Mixtec or whatnot, I might say, you know what, I'm going to drop my culture, forget about it, and just join the mestizo culture.
Because mestizo, you have to understand, mestizo sounds a little bit more pleasing and accepting to the powers that be than just being an Indio or a black or whatever the case is. You know, is I'm more exotic because I'm mixed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the reason why. That's why there's certain individuals in the United States who claim to be Latino or Latina when they're not. You know, there's certain individuals in the United States that claim that they're mixed when they're not. You know what I'm saying? So those are that because it's more exotic to be a certain thing instead of the truth. You know, that in my opinion, that's what it is.
Because one of my friends,
Can I say something?
I just want to make one statement. One of my friends who was Mexican, who did a DNA test, he found out he was 90% Native American, and he was kind of like, we was talking. He was like saying, you know what, I lived a lie. I mean, this whole identity thing, I said, it's a lie. I told him it's not necessarily a lie. It's just that, you are your culture. I'm like saying, if you look at your culture in Mexico, it's kind of like a combination of both the, from the Aztec and also the various different native cultures. Because I said, face it. I said, I've been to Spain. They don't eat tortillas in Spain. You know what I mean? They don't eat those type of foods in Spain, but you do eat that in Mexico. And if you go to Albuquerque, and a lot of the, some of the Apaches look Mexican. One of my friends who, he was a conductor. He became a conductor. And when he went to the East Coast, he's Comanche, and he was just like, everyone thought he was Hispanic, and he was just like pissed off about that. And he's like saying, I'm Native American. Right. And then he just realized, he was like saying, do people actually know what Native American look like?
Exactly.
But most people thought he was Mexican.
Right. Because I meet Native American people who are not Hispanic origin at all, and they get that. One of my friends who was Native American, who knows my Native American mixture, who was homeless, and everybody thought he was a dark-haired Mexican dude with a ponytail, and he's Apache. Every time he said, "Hey, what's up, my brother?" And I meet other Native Americans. Also, I had one particular one that's negative. I won't go there, but I had Native American people who actually I'm not Mexican, I'm Apache, I'm Comanche, I'm Cherokee. And I said, oh, okay, I got Native blood as well, and we get along. So they always say that people think they're Mexican because the ignorance of American system that has destroyed the minds of people when it comes to race, and people flock with that. Now, I also want to say this about, in America, we have been deprived of being racially classify who we really are and going with the white supremacist ideology. And that's the reason why it's not that people want to claim they're native to be exotic. People deprived for racial segregation reasons. And many Americans who do I'm going to get off the fucking platform. Anyway, as I was saying,
Dude, was that you? Was that you?
We are, right?
Wait. Was that you? Like, come on, Jose, chill out.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, we want people to be proud of who they are. That means their family tree. They shouldn't deny their roots because people don't accept them one way or another. That's not their business. So America has to be, the first time we only classify ourselves as mixed is the 2000 census. I do it all the time. So that's why people are claiming their roots, because the false education system had told you a false education who we really are and lied to us, and then gave a white English and Protestant view of America. So that's why, and we had the blood quantum and the one drop rule and the farther side They was doing that message to discourage race mixing and people coming together as a human family. So it's not that people are claiming to be Native American to be exotic. We people have native blood have a right to claim that. I think that people stop trying to monoracialize people because of selfish reasons and for Black nationalism that was supported by the KKK. I don't think that people should know that argument, but that's a lot of separate stuff. It's KK rhetoric, and people start using KK rhetoric to try to classify people based on their race. Let's repent KK rhetoric and stop fighting people who try to troll.
Okay, we got Zach, we got it. We got you. You gotta land the plane, bro. Sometimes you gotta land the plane.
Okay.
Does anybody else wanna tackle what the brother just said right now? Just call me Brian. What he just said.
Nah, but I do want to ask Zach.
Oh, here we go. Wait, is Zach just a punching back to that? Like, goddamn, what the fuck is going on with Zach right now?
Because Zach is unique and Zach does not obey people's selfish standards, and he doesn't care. Thank you.
All right, that's okay. So okay, ask Zach what you want to ask, man. Just go ahead.
And intelligence, please.
Zach.
Yes.
Elizabeth Warren, who has traces of Native American. Do you think she should be accepted?
Yes, it's her heritage. I voted for her.
Whoa,
Whoa.
Nah, Zach, you're bugging, bro.
No, I go by what's anything in your heritage is your roots.
Bro, she's literally negative 1%.
Okay, I just told you in the beginning that DNA test is not accurate when it comes to race.
Okay, and neither are her features.
University.
Like, let's be real.
Okay, I don't.
Excuse me.
I just keep saying that DNA test. I wasn't finished talking.
Hold on. Let people talk. Well, go ahead.
Excuse me. I got a question. Now, I have heard that she claims to be part indigenous. First of all, is that true, or she's just making it all up?
No, she's claiming this. She's like,
that's her heritage.
Look, the traces.
She's like 1,000.
I'm not with that 1%.
She's not 1%. No. Wait. She's not 1%. When she showed her DNA joint on TV, it was literally less than 1%. No, you can't claim that. That's weird. No.
Okay, why does it matter to you if they do claim it if it's your right? But it's not your business. And I'm gonna go ahead.
No, hold on. No, you hold on because you've been running your mouth. You've been running your mouth for clearly over an hour.
No, it doesn't count. That's why I talk for now.
It doesn't count. You just keep running your mouth about the same thing. Just relax.
Yeah, I'm gonna run my mouth and tell the truth.
Just let him talk.
Thank you.
She's running her mouth on television, telling everybody in the world that she's an Indian, she's Native American. It came back 1/1000%.
Okay,
that's
go
next to nothing. Listen, relax, calm down. She's running her mouth. She's running for elected office. So it is the public's business. You're wrong.
I voted for her, and
I don't care who you voted for.
And also,
she's running for public office.
Go to the backstage.
She's running for public office. Therefore, it is the public's business.
This is from William from associate possessor. So your DNA test is not right.
But Zach,
I just told you, we come to race. It's not real. Go to the back page.
Let me ask you something, Zach.
Right. And it's from the university.
Just because a DNA test says that you're less than 1%, and mind you, Elizabeth Warren doesn't know no close family members that's Native. That's to you, she's still Native, and that's okay.
Okay, did I just go to the chat and see what I posted?
He said that it's nobody's business, Radical. When this is a person
it says DNA test for ethnicity is our attainment value only.
We don't need a narration.
Okay, William Gellner, associate professor, DePaul University, DNA test for ethnicity and our entertainment value, noting that DNA test can connect to your family members, but not DNA to a marker. Thank you. We come to race. Thank you. I put the DNA test is not real. So why y'all ignoring the professor have debunked that argument?
Because you
Zach,
said it's
Zach.
nobody's
Okay.
business. When someone's running
Okay.
for public office
And I
and
voted
that
for
comes
Ms. Warren.
out,
Yes,
that
I
becomes
did.
everybody's business.
Okay, and
You
as a
voting
person
for her is
educated,
irrelevant.
I've
It's
just told you DNA
irrelevant.
test is
It is
not real when it comes
irrelevant.
to race.
But
Okay,
you voting
okay,
for
wait,
her
wait. So
is
what is
Justin
irrelevant.
Alba was
wait,
not
You
black
make
on
you
one
make
test.
these
what is
lame
He was
real when it
black
comes
on
to race?
2014.
Zach,
even
It isn't.
what is real when
So
it comes
stop
to race?
ignoring that.
Come on. Or you're from
Stop
Texas?
ignoring the
That's
Wait,
just
wait,
like
biological
yo,
professors
yo,
at
yo,
DePaul
let
University
people speak.
that
Let
show that
people
DNA
speak. Let
test
people
is
speak.
not
Hold
real.
on.
Why y'all
Hold on.
ignoring that?
Zach, what makes race real?
Race is a social class, right? Based on your ancestry. And it actually some white man back in the German days that made that we all belong to one race.
Okay,
human.
so
But
how
if
can
someone has more than one race in them,
Yeah.
how they classify, that's what the dictionary says. What
Okay, how can
is.
you
Two races or more in the ancestry. It didn't say a certain percentage. It didn't say parent.
outside? Okay,
It said
outside
your
of a
ancestry.
DNA test, how can you find out your heritage?
Trace them.
How?
Trace your heritage.
Outside of a DNA test.
Trace and pray about it. That's what I did.
How outside of a DNA test?
Okay, if DNA test is can I finish?
fucking
You asked me a
ethnicities,
question.
Wait, I
Thank
asked
you.
him a question. I asked him a question.
Moron.
You're a moron because I'm using.
Chill out. Stop getting triggered. Just answer the question, please. Outside of a DNA test, how can you trace your heritage?
You trace your ancestry to family heritage. You go to geology libraries. And I mean, people don't believe in prayer, but I do.
Do you not need to take a DNA test to do that?
No, you don't, because it's attainment value. Radical, why are you ignoring what I just posted in the chat?
What you didn't post? I didn't see nothing.
I did post it. It's right there. DNA test is for attainment value.
In the private chat? In the private chat?
Yes, and the associate professor William Gallinan, associate professor from DePaul University, explained that DNA test is for attainment value only, noting that DNA test can connect to you family members, but not a DNA marker.
Wait. Mixed race studies, sociology, and the mixed race experience. DNA testing ethnicity, the entertainment value only.
Thank you.
I need sources for this.
Liberal professor's opinion.
It seems like
it's not about a liberal professor. It's the truth. You just want to use race to classify what you want people to do in their personal life. Because if you did have a life, you wouldn't worry about what another person doing, right? Why this is your business? If someone claim, hold on, I'm not.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about
Zach.
Sorry.
Hold on. Wait, Zach. The link that you just provided.
I'm gonna give you that link.
One, they're going to a source where a woman took an ancestry test and got two different results, and that's it.
Right, and it was so. Which one's accurate? She was 97% Jewish on one test, and she was upset by. She said, "I'm a black girl." Her name was Jennifer Smith. Then the other one, she was more African than European. So there was Inch.com that said 97%. Then there were 20. The CEOs.
This is just regurgitating a news article. That's all it is.
No, but they went to a source in the DePaul University, and it's actually got the news article right there. And they interviewed William. They interviewed a professor, Radical. Why are we ignoring scholarly source and go by public opinion? Because the thing, why does it matter? Why do you want to use race to control someone's life? I think that's what it's all about.
Everything. He asked you a question about Elizabeth Warren, and when people bring up facts, the only thing that comes out of your mush mouth is, I voted for her. I voted for her, and I'm from Texas.
And I brought up the fact that DNA test is not real when it comes to race. So it's different. So you ignore the source, you ignore the facts.
The source of what? He asked you a question that had nothing to do with the article.
I backed it up, though.
Zach, if DNA test is not real, right? Then what is she claiming native then?
Because her family history, her parents,
what family history?
Her grandparents told her.
What family history? Because she hasn't said nothing about her family history.
Okay, but how does she know she's Native American?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
exactly. Tell me, how does she?
No one have not did her ancestry, like a literal ancestry research, and they used to classify Native Americans as mulatto. You know that, right? They call paper genocide. I mean, I wish y'all can do more research about how they classified Native Americans. Native American was not classified as Americans to like 1920 and 40, but they put them in white, sometimes black, sometimes mulatto.
They classify them as all over the things. Yes, I know.
Okay, so when no mix, I just explained earlier, since she's a biracial biracial Native American white woman and looks white passing. Her family benefit from living as a white people, passing as white, especially when they did not let her identify as Native if they continue to marry more white people. I told you this is what the blood clot was about. Okay, so unlike some part white people who know they're mixed, who don't want to pass, who want to love their roots and stop going on with people's narrative, she has the right to claim her heritage.
Okay.
Okay, so she had to learn from her family.
Excuse me if I
wait,
can
wait,
just
real quick, real quick, and then you could go. Real quick, hold on. So if let's say, Zach, you know what? I'm Creole, Spanish, Maroon, and all this other stuff. Everything that you say that you are when you make your introduction, that's what I am. And you give me a Creole word, and I don't know nothing about it. Am I still Creole?
It doesn't matter if you know the culture. If it's in your lineage, that's what you are. You don't know a Taino word. I mean, you're part Dominican. You don't know the other words in Latin.
Hurricane.
Yeah. So what you claim you're black, right? Hold on, right? Radical. They do the same article with you. The argument with you. You claim you put black and Native on your applications, and people came to you and said you're not black. Yeah. So that's the same argument about Elizabeth Warren. They can say about you because you don't look like an African. I look more African than you.
Of course,
but you claim to be black.
Yeah, because
okay.
I'm Afro-Indigenous, right and because my dad is black. That's why.
Is he 100% black?
100% black.
What? From where?
From Dominican Republic.
Okay, and when there was a pure black people, I mean, I'm sure there's some Spaniard indigenous in that man's bloodline.
People in Dominican Republic, bro.
I'm talking about ancestry-wise, not about people's identity based on people's looks. I'm talking about gene pool ancestry.
What about it?
Okay, because if anybody has mixed ancestry according to Wikipedia, I'm going by sources. I'm not going by people's opinions. Okay, if the dictionary say 2 races or more in the ancestry, okay, that's what it is. It should not. People choose to be ignorant. That's a problem. But I don't go along with ignorance. I bring the source, and I gave you a source in the backstage that DNA test from a university professor. It is an intimate value because Jessica Alba went to the same thing. She's Latina. Further, it said she was white and Native on Lopez Night, but 2014. She's mixed with black too. Well, I already knew she had some black in her, with them big lips and nose. I knew she was when she played Honey. Definitely knew they picked her. Okay. But my point is, which one is right? Is she part Afro Mexican? The first one she wasn't. The second DNA test she was. So that's a contradiction because DNA companies do not have the same results. And y'all wasting y'all money.
Oh yeah, this is something that we fully
your money and they fraud and they live in a good life, but they taking all your money. That's fraud. Yes, it is.
Zach, hold on. We fully understand that all DNA companies don't have the same results. We know this. This is not something new. The thing is that you're defending something that somebody is not. She literally showed that she's less than 1% Native, and you still say that she's still Native.
How is she less Native if it's not in her blood? Because if she didn't have any Native in her, I'm using the narrative.
In their blood, bro. Okay. I'm Jewish. That doesn't mean that I'm supposed to claim that I'm Jewish. I'm less than 1% Jewish. Does that mean I'm Jewish?
You are, because it wasn't someone messing with your family was Jewish, you wouldn't be here.
And when you ask,
can I finish? Because hold on. It's funny when I'm in point, y'all want to interrupt me.
You cut everybody off. Let me finish. You run your mouth.
As I was saying, I'm gonna talk over you. As I was saying, to Tobacco Latino, to Elizabeth Warren, if she didn't have no blood Native, if the DNA test was so accurate, that means that she have none at all, not less, not more, or whatever. But she has a right because she has it in her heritage. That's no one's business if she's telling the truth, and we know the history of this country that the DNA test is not accurate, and they did use the blood quarter and 1 drop rule to cause problems.
Okay, hold on. Who's this Robbie Blue? What's up?
Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing, Radical? Man, I've tuned into your show before. You always have some solid stuff, man. I ain't no troll or nothing. I've been listening to the conversation, right? And it really mind boggles me how we have gotten to a point where common sense is just thrown out the window. I understand like technical points people are making, but I'm just going to use practicality. I'm not even going to get deep into like, genetics or nothing. If a white supremacist came in this room and say we're in a building and he said Nigger, get on the ground. You probably have a couple of brown people get on the ground, but for sure all the black people would get on the ground. That's number one. Number two, according to your phenotype, you are who the police say you are. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm a black man. My mom's maiden name is Little John. It's Cherokee, but I'm black. My phenotype is black. I found out my great-great-grandmother was Mexican. I mean, full-blooded Mexican, right? And my spouse now is Mexican, right? But I'm a black man. When I'm around other Mexican people, right, they're not going to say, hey, paisano or que paso. They're going to be like, what's up, nigga? And I'm like, cool, nigga. Like, that's it. Like, I guess my whole point is the whole Elizabeth Warren thing. I get it. If we want to be technical, we could say she's 1%. But let's not play like we don't live in a system of white supremacy where phenotype and classification doesn't play a role. And then when it comes to white people, they love to be able to double dutch and be whatever they want to be, right? They can just use instant transmission like Goku, like, I'm Native American today because there's a check. I guarantee you, if they were to cut a check to black people, you'd find all type of people doing the same thing, trying to find a split splash, a half a teaspoon. You know what I'm saying? Of black, because it's about money. It's about money. But
okay, I want to hear Danny. Wait, Zach, hold on, bro. Wait,
they have a large Native American population in Massachusetts, so that's why she was trying to appeal to that, right? She's 1/1000th of whatever she is. This guy says, oh, well, that's her business. Why you in her business? Well, she's a public official running for office. That's why people are commenting on it. That's the point that I was trying to make. But then from there, you pivot to some article that got nothing, like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this DNA of a politician.
You mentioned DNA.
A fraud of a
if
politician.
If the DNA companies are frauding people, then there's a lie then. I just gave you a source because you mad because I used a source by DNA. It does matter. You mentioned her DNA. I went to the DNA source and it showed that DNA test is not real.
I'm so glad I came in the room.
And I was counting to the person that said that they're a black man by police.
Wait, Zach, you've been talking for a long time. Relax.
Yeah,
we got your point. Go
ahead,
eat
bro. Some fucking eggs. Be quiet, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What I was gonna say?
No, you go eat some eggs too.
Excuse me.
No, Jose, hold on. Let this guy go, and then you could go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, all I was gonna say was, man, what I've learned, and especially with me as an African American, right? A lot of times, man, we're very brilliant, but some of us don't have emotional intelligence because of a lot of the social pressures and everything we've been through. So when people feel like their voice isn't heard, sometimes we think by raising the volume up is going to make us win the argument. And it's like we have a Christianity approach that we think that if we run our mouth, we're going to convert people. People are only converted by what you do. And in America, the only thing that matters is cash. Now, I've been saying it since my first wife that was Mexican, right? I said there needs to be, if there's a possibility, a black and brown coalition. I do believe that we're cousins. I do believe that, yeah, there's a fact. Now, you can talk to white historians that there were at least 10 to 12 black indigenous tribes, but you can't undercut the 500 nations that were here. You know what I mean? It's just like right now, like as us right now in America, you can have communities that are black and Latino. People move around. People don't stay in the same place. That doesn't mean people were at war with each other. There's a documentary they have on YouTube that talks about the first Americas, right? It shows that there's some fossils like in the southern part of Brazil or something that were Africanoid. But that does not also mitigate the fact that you had like Asiatic people, right? That overpopulated and made their mark, right? So when we start saying stuff like we're the Aztecs and we're the Mayans and all of that, all that's going to do is just further, I think, proliferate white supremacy, and it's going to allow white supremacists to use Latinos as a buffer class to oppress us. Why? Because Latinos were given the unique option, which we were never given, and that was to be considered white as a social construct. Why? Because when the Europeans got here, they knew they were outnumbered. Now, for some reason, tribalism in Africa to this day has crippled Africa. I have to give Hispanics credit that at least some of the tribalism has subsided. And I think some of that is due to religion, whether it's Catholicism or whatever, and I hope I'm not getting too deep, and I'm hoping I'm not too long-winded.
Because I want to talk, and I might give the brother a little bit of pushback.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you think?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm
like
trying.
for
I
example,
promise. Make sure I land.
no,
Yeah.
no, you good, brother.
Yeah. All
Go-
I'm trying to say is from my unique experience, right? That it's like I can speak on some Latin issues because literally, like, I've lived in South Texas since 2005. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gone to quinceañeras. I've dealt with prejudice. You know what I'm saying? And I've
Yeah.
dealt with love, right? And obviously I'm African American, right? And what I see, and this is what I think white supremacists are afraid of, which is why that young man did what he did in Buffalo. They are afraid that Black and Latino people will stop competing for whiteness,
Mm-hmm.
embrace who they are, and we love each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a done deal. I mean, it's common sense that the Native Americans were people now that speak Spanish, whether you want to be technical, let's talk about
Facts.
genealogy. Now, also, were there some Black indigenous people here? Yeah, because there's proof that you have Africans trading all over the globe. And so, no, look, why is it that Egyptians and some of the people in Japan believe the same thing in terms of the sun god, right? So they don't want to tell the truth that people have circumnavigated the globe and had transportation and all that. I mean, we can see it. We're cousins because we that's what we're good at, breakdancing and graffiti. You know what I mean? They laugh at us for writing stuff on the walls, but when you go look at the pyramids, man, some of them brothers was putting it down. And come on, don't talk about the tattoos and don't talk about the females. You know what I'm saying? Like, if racism can't dominate right now in a time where racism is like at its all-time peak, and you still have interracial relationships, you have the Kardashians sitting on Black chairs, let alone a Black man's lap. It's like they can't get enough Black. You're not gonna sit here and convince me that if a Mexican woman and a Black man got together in the 1800s and that was part of my lineage, you ain't gonna tell me that people won't walk around the Amazon and people are gonna be like, nigga, we FBA. Yo, fuck them Latina Mayan bitches over there. Nigga, please. If she got a fat ass, nigga, I'm hollering. And I might not have to fight all her brothers to get respect. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she's choosing, and vice versa. So I just think some of this nonsense, and that's where love comes in, right? Stop thinking that because people don't look like you, they can't love you. But I will say this, them dangling the identity of white and that social construct has greatly brainwashed and caused division with Latinos, especially Mexicans, because you have Mexican Americans that don't like Mexicans. And then, like I heard somebody say earlier about the Native American thing, that is true. Colorism plays a role. The same way they divided us, they divided Latinos because people are like, oh my God, the baby's too dark. I've heard people say it, you know, they're paying attention to the eyes, they're paying attention to the nose. It's a sick psychosis subconsciously in our brain. And I think people are finally getting to a point that they realize corporate America doesn't care. Like, white privilege after 9/11 got an expiration date. That's where you got white people losing their mind. Like, I told this white boy the other day, I said, guess what? He said, what? I'll tell you a secret. What's that? I said, you're a nigga too. Man, they will give you a Christmas bonus and then lay you off on New Year's Day. They no longer care no more. It's just race is used now as like the last resort to keep us to be petty. And I think the worst mistake we could do, there's nothing wrong with us saying we have FBA lineage and we need to have some type of lineage-based agenda to get reparations. I get that. But let's not sit here and try to circumnavigate or do what white supremacists did and try to overshadow what Native people have done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'd be a bad move. And that's just my point.
All right. Jose was gonna go, and then I think Brian was gonna go, and I think Danny wants to say his last things and all that. So Jose, say what you gotta say.
Okay, no, I just want to ask Danny a question, which is, are you saying that Elizabeth Warren is using that 1% or whatever percentage that she claiming to be Cherokee just for political purposes because she wants to, become, I don't know, the next president, what have you? Number one. Number two, I've heard a lot about how DNA is not reliable. Okay, with all due respect, a newspaper article is not sufficient evidence. Okay, you need sources that you can go into. You can go into Google and you can enter it, and then check and see whether it's true or not. For all we know, it could be true, it could be not. But simply to state an article, with all due respect, that is not sufficient proof. Danny, is that true? What you that she's?
Yeah, because if you look at what the left has been doing the past few years, all they use is identity politics. right? Because
Mhm.
they want you to vote emotionally. So if you're emotional about something and they're talking about that subject, most likely you're going to pull the lever in the voting booth for them. That's the only reason why she was using that. She was 1/1000th, right? She was claiming that she was more at first, if I'm not mistaken. And I think three
Mhm.
tribes were like, nah, we don't even like we don't. I think they couldn't even trace back the quote unquote lineage that she was talking about. She's a fraud.
So in
That's
other words,
basically it.
they're trying to discourage people from actually looking at these people intelligently. Not just what they're saying, but what is their platform. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Oh my.
you're 100% correct. And that's all they do. They tap into the emotions of people on the left to get them to vote, right? So now you see the shooting in Texas, right? Sadly, it happened. What can you do? But what did they
Mhm.
use to tap on the emotions? The children. That gets everybody every time, right? People put down they put down their weapons and they come together when it comes to kids. You can't really kids they're off limits, especially when something physically happens to them, right?
Facts.
So when that happened, that's when you see like all these the Democrats are doing all of these quote unquote laws for the Second Amendment that's basically against it, and then you got the 10 rhinos who signed up with them. That's all it is a play on emotions, and people are so stupid that they're in this emotional state to where they're not even reading the bills. You can go online and read the actual bills that they're proposing, right? They're making all these laws on guns, but that doesn't stop criminals from getting guns, right? Criminals don't follow
Well,
laws. We do.
you know what? That's unfortunate. People are not grasping the concept because criminals will get guns no matter what. Look at New York. New York has one of the most strictest gun control laws in the country. Guess what?
Yep.
The murders are going up, robberies are going up, assaults are going up. So with all this talk about how tighter gun control laws is the panacea, look to New York. That's all I got to say.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work. It doesn't work whatsoever when they do these gun laws.
What was it? I'm gonna let Brian go now. Brian, say your piece.
Okay, I'm going to end it at here. I pretty much enjoyed this platform. Very, very interesting. I learned this from another platform about you guys, and I said, you know what? Let me just shoot up and see what's
Oh,
going
okay.
on.
Shout out to them then.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's. I don't know if his Konzoria Empire. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, not an easy, or whatever his name is.
Not in. I think maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
It's all right.
It doesn't.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But going back to what economic freedom has said, in regards to like everyone pretty much getting together, people of color, as far as Latin and all that type of stuff. I'm just gonna give a little bit pushback because, as he knows, as far as being a Mexican person or a person of Mexican ancestry, you do have large populations in Mexico, according to the CIA, about 25% or 30%, who are of indigenous blood, and many of them do speak indigenous languages. Having said that, some indigenous people, I just mainly seen it online, and also my friend who did the DNA test, are starting to reject the Latino label. And they feel that they need to go by what they truly are. Like if a Mayan person or Mixtec person or whatnot person speak their languages as a first language, I don't see anything wrong with them in, being, as far as acknowledging the indigenous first, and then, whether, the Spanish speaking aspect later. It's just like for me, I acknowledge, I'm African American, you know what I mean? As far as, or Black American, whereas during that first, and then the American later. And I noticed certain indigenous people are, especially those who are really in tune to their culture, they, the ones I talked with and the ones who I, seen online, it's a complicated issue as far as, being raised in a Latin American, culture or supposedly culture, and also having indigenous identities, kind of like for some of them is a conflict of interest and a tug of war as far as juggling those two identities as well. So it's it's pretty much interesting. I feel that in all Latin American countries, or Latin American countries, let's say, since we're talking about indigenous people, so I'm going to focus on that. I think countries like Paraguay is a good example of having both languages spoken, both the Spanish and indigenous, and not one being greater than the other. And I think they set a good example. Anybody could Google Paraguay, of having that balance of both and acknowledging both.
Yeah. I would agree with you. Hold on, everybody just give me 1 minute. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna have everybody, catch me later, and I'm pretty much wrapping this whole thing up because it wasn't supposed to go for 2 hours. But anyway, I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.